Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Freitas Effect.
Hey, we out here. I am your co-host, Azeb Freitas.
And I am the other co-host, Simon Freitas.
Hey, welcome back. Okay, so how are you, bro?
I'm good. Yeah, just living life, working, being tired all the time, but
Mood.
just getting through it because money. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's summertime and there's no chill, and I'm not here for it, but we out here.
Yep.
And it's okay. Because it'll get better, because May was just rude as fuck, and none of us saw that coming.
No, it rained so fucking much.
I mean, yeah, it was all of that.
It was so wet.
That's what she said. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on over here.
Yeah.
You ready to get into this segment?
Oh, bish.
Okay. So before we get into this segment called How the Turns Have Tabled,
Hey.
we just want to give you the theme for this episode. We're going to be talking about Murica. We're going to be talking about 4th of July.
Red, white,
We're going to be
blur.
talking about all of it.
From our perspective.
Okay.
All
So
right.
go for it.
So, this episode of How the Turns Have Tabled, it's actually a story about this 4th of July when Azeb ditched me in Boston.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So we got drunk as fuck, and then we went to Boston with Azeb's friends. And
I love how my friends aren't your friends.
I mean, they're my
but they
friends
are
now,
your friends.
But it was what, end of high school?
Yeah, it was
Beginning of college kind of time.
It was a good, solid group of Evertarians.
Yeah, and we went into Boston. I mean, I'm all friends with them, but they always see me as Azeb's brother, so.
No, they see you as Simon.
Okay, maybe now, but when I was younger, that's how I always.
Really,
saw it.
that's interesting. Because when I transferred back to EHS, everyone was like, "Oh, you're Simon's sister," and I'm like, "You're only saying that because you can't say my name."
Yeah.
But whatever, and also I'm my own person.
True facts.
Bye.
Yeah, no, that's how I always felt when teachers would be like, "Oh, you're Azeb's brother. You better be smart," and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm gonna be whatever I am."
Thank you.
But anywhom stood up. So we go into
back.
Boston and we get to after the fireworks went off. We're hanging out downtown, or I don't even.
We were in Charles MGH, the quiet side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we saw these dancers, and we're just having a good time in the streets.
The dancers were my friends.
Okay, yeah, whatever. But all right, I don't fucking know. We were all fucking lit, just having a good time. I couldn't tell who what was who.
I can't believe you couldn't tell who was who.
And
That's really
so
bad.
many fucking people. And then you just look at me and you go, "Hey, Simon, I'm gonna go to this person's place," or whatever the fuck you said.
I was going with Faye.
That. And then I was just like, "Oh, okay, what am I doing?" And you were like, "You're gonna go home."
You're going home. Goodbye.
Fucking great. Where's the train? I'm so happy. And then
I'm a horrible person.
So I sober up kind of, and then I'm still a little wrecked, waiting in this giant fucking line. There's just a mob, and it's a snake fucking weird formation, and we're all just nudging through, all pushed up against each other, finally trying to get to the front. And then there's this fucking guy who's he has this dog, and he's just suffocating the fucking dog into his arm, and the dog's crying and whimpering, and we're all just what the fuck, dude? He's "My dog is sick, someone let me through." And it's the dog is crying because you're choking it. But so then eventually I get to the front, and then I sit down on the train. You think the story can't get worse? It can get fucking worse.
It always gets worse.
It always gets fucking worse. So then I'm sitting there, and then there's this drunk ass motherfucking group, and I was like, "Do not sit next to me. Do not." She's fucking sitting next to me. There are all these fucking seats, obviously. So then
I would like to just say, meanwhile, I'm on another train singing Piano Man with my drunk ass friends, and the whole train starts singing Piano Man on a different train.
Totally different.
Just letting you know that's what was happening while that was happening to you.
Different lives. So then I'm sitting there just taking it I can't believe this bitch. Oh, I didn't even. So this bitch fucking passes out and puts her head on my shoulder, and I'm just God. Motherfucker. So then I didn't say anything. I just sat there. I was like, whatever, life goes on. And then this is when it gets good. These motherfuckers started tapping her. They're like, Sarah, you cannot fall asleep on a random man. Sarah, I am so sorry. And I'm just sitting there yep. this is happening.
I wish
Thank
you guys could see like what he is physically doing as he is telling the story.
These motherfuckers, like it's just they're just
so
like slapping her lightly, and it's just like, all right, cool, that's fucking great. They get off, and then like the guy that's with them gives me a thumbs up. He's like, "You're a cool dude."
Oh
and
my god,
like, yeah. And then just walks up. And then I just show up in Boston, Bunker Hill Community College, and then I see my parents, and I was like, "Hey," and they were like, "Simon," and I was like, "What's up?" And they were like, "What's up with you?" And I was like, "Azeb fucking ditched me. Can I get a ride home?" And they were like, "Sure." And then I went home.
They were like, "Your sister sucks."
And that was my night.
They know what to expect. Oh God. That was a good story. That was a good one. 4th of July, we always go mad hard for no reason. Seriously.
That was the same night that I was introduced to Ian-J.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That was an epic day.
Yep. I couldn't eat potato chips. They were just, I don't know. It was something about it. It was too fucking dry.
Evil juice, bro. Like, we don't do that shit anymore. We're too grown.
It's devil's juice.
No turning back ever. Unless shit gets real rough.
Or unless Tyler Harrington shows up.
Only if T-Money Fat Cat is around. All right, so I am going to transition us into Ribbits. We really need that soundbite.
Yes.
So Ribbits stands for Random People in the Street, in which we would interview. Pero for some reason, we haven't really been talking to random people in the street, and we've just been taking advantage of our friends who are around us, who are really smart and like say cultured great things.
Better way to put it.
Yes. So yeah. Okay, so anywho, we decided to ask our friends some questions. Our questions were, what's the most American thing you can think of? And do you celebrate 4th of July? Why not? What's your intentions? So I'm going to introduce you to my friend David Rodriguez. He's like my biffle. And here's his interview.
Alrighty. 4th of July episode. First interview. David.
First interview?
You are number one.
Wow, thank you. We've been new. I'm kidding.
He's kidding. All right.
Rolled your eyes a little when you said that.
I'll say what I want. So. Alrighty.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, first question. What is the most American thing you can think of?
A bald eagle. Yeah. But not the angry Muppet one, but the ones who are like going extinct in real life, you know. Climate change, it's real people. I don't know if their death is because of climate change, but probably, so I'm gonna stick with it.
I think so too. Okay, so Azeb, do you want to ask the next one?
Sure. Okay, so since this episode is going to be about 4th of July, we just have a question. Do you celebrate 4th of July?
Yes, but keep in mind that I'm from New Hampshire, so 4th of July is a bit different. So, like, growing up, I would only celebrate it with my family, obviously, and we'd do the fireworks, and, like, being a child of immigrants, like, it's going to be a little bit different, and also being Latino, because, you know, we start that shit way later. We don't have a barbecue during the day, you know. It starts at like 6 p.m. It's just the same thing as any other like asado, like in any like the rest of summer. But then there are fireworks. But then got older and started hanging with my American friends, I guess. And now it's like it's excessive, but it's so excessive that it's like one of those millennial like it's basically ironic. So it's a weird holiday.
Yeah. So like our follow-up question is like, if you do celebrate, like why do you? Or like like what's your like intention for the holiday?
Honestly, now at this point in my life, it's just to see friends that I don't see. So it's like I have this one friend down in Connecticut who is from like small town Connecticut. They think they're Hicks even though they're rich type situation. But like just being able to spend time with them while still like, you know, being the one minority, a bunch of all these like white boys, and be able to challenge. I've gotten to plenty of arguments on the 4th of July over at that house, but you know, that's kind of my role.
Dope. I think that's it. You got anything?
Nah, thank you.
Thank you, David.
Yay, bye.
So that was David's interview. Azeb, Thoughts?
Yeah. I really liked how he said the bald eagle.
Yeah.
I was like, that's interesting because that's not what I think of, but that is super, super American.
Yeah.
But then he was like, but they're basically fucking dead because of climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like, is acknowledging climate change like American, or like, are we acknowledging as a country that our national symbol is of an animal is like dead because our inability to recognize that? Also, you know, it's just like so much America in that sentence.
That's fucking
I know
neat.
I just forced it, but like
No, it's true.
Right? And then I really liked how he talked about, like, I do celebrate, but it's only because I grew up in an area that's, like, super America. You know what I mean? Like New Hampshire. And especially because it's, like, a swing state. You never know what you're going to get, whatever. But being, you know, a Latino and, like, doing it the fucking, like, POC way of just, like, starting mad late and, like, you know, just, like, watching the fireworks and whatever. But not exactly recognizing this holiday as, like, freedom, independence, Chevy trucks, apple pie. You know what I mean? Like, fuck the Brits. Like, that's not the mood at all for most, like, people of color.
Yeah.
So when he said it's ironic, it's just, like, a weird holiday, and how he talked about, like, hanging out with his friend, who's like in Connecticut, and he'll go there and tokenize himself for his friend on a day that's supposed to be about like celebrating America, yet he's American but not seen as American and has to go through all this shit on a day that's supposed to be about celebration.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I felt. How about you?
Yeah, I felt like a lot of his experiences were like similar to our you know, like the things that like we do with like our families and like I don't know. I think that it's interesting that like the fireworks are something that is universal with everyone.
Because we did that too.
Because it's just like, and that just ties back into the fucking climate change thing. Like, you know, it's just like, we're fucking killing the earth on this day where we're just celebrating how happy we are to be on it. Like,
or
it's
to
just
be
like,
American.
The fuck? Like,
especially for us, like, as a child, the only thing I remember is like, oh, it's 4th of July. We get to go to the fireworks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just like
we
let's blow
didn't really
shit up
do
and
anything
set
else
it
on that
fire.
day. We never went to like a barbecue. We were always just like, fireworks. Because Dad and Mom would always make it like a fucking journey and an adventure. And then like other people started to join us and we'd be like, fireworks.
And then we'd always meet fucking weirdos on the way home.
Or we'd just start screaming and running away. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
Sorry. Yeah. Your thoughts? That was it?
I think that, yeah, you covered a lot of things that I was thinking. Oh, when he said how, like, it was ironic, that kind of, like, stuck with me a little bit because, you know, I kind of feel like millennials, like, you know, he even brings it up as, like, you know, we don't really see it as, like, oh, we're going to celebrate this fucking country because of what they've done. Because we all are around. Well, not like, I'm not going to speak for every fucking millennial on earth. But like, you know.
Honestly, but the way that millennials are depicted, I'd rather you speak for us.
Yeah, it's just, let me stereotype myself a little bit. But no, from my perspective, we don't really fucking see this country as a great fucking place. Like, you know, it's just like we see a lot of bad things within it.
Facts.
And it's not saying that it's the fucking worst or that there's no fucking hope or that, like, everyone's doing everything fucking wrong.
Right.
But it's just saying that, like, we don't want to celebrate all the fucking shitty stuff that we know that's wrong right now.
Yeah.
That's just fucking happening.
It's hard to celebrate a country that does not give a fuck about you.
Yep.
But honestly, the first time I heard about like fuck the 4th was like you told me about it like literally like 4 years ago, and I was like, why the fuck didn't I think about this? Because whenever we all hang out, we're always like, oh, Freedom Squad, whatever, you know what I mean? Because we're like being ironic about it, exactly like what David said.
Yeah.
But then like, you know, we're just like making fun of like Murica, you know. But like now it's more like, oh, I genuinely actually am saying this with intention, you know. Like, yes, we do have, like, freedoms here that we, like, other people don't have, whatever. And, like, shit's probably most likely okay for some of us. But still, it's, like, it's not the fucking best for everyone. So we need to stop fucking lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, selling that idea.
Yeah. So, now we will be getting into Jojo's interview.
Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so we are here with the one and only Johaise, aka Jojo. So Jojo, we're gonna ask you some questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get it popping.
Great. So this episode is gonna be about 4th of July, but we just are curious, what is the most American thing that you can think of?
Cheeseburgers. Yeah. I just feel like Americans love that shit. Like, it's mad easy to do. You don't even have to put seasoning on that if you don't want it. Just slap it on, put cheese, bun, and you're all set. Ketchup. Yes. And that's it.
Awesome. Okay, Simon, do you want to do this next question? Okay.
So, do you celebrate the 4th of July?
Yes and no. Like, everybody has it off. Well, I have it off. So, like, I celebrate it with my friends. But, like, the actual meaning of it, I don't really know if I celebrate that. Because, like, independence for who,
Yeah, that's a good point. So why would you say you do kind of celebrate it though, right? Like, like you do take the time and like see people and, celebrate each other's company. So like, is that why you would say like you celebrate the 4th of July, like just to be with people?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's more of like, it's usually a nice day. You go out with some friends, you have drinks, you're at the beach. It's kind of that kind of celebration. It's not more of like, yo, let's celebrate the 4th of July because America, freedom. Right. It's more of like, it's just an excuse to drink.
Hey, okay, yeah. Simon, any thoughts? Like, what do you think?
I was really happy that she said cheeseburgers because I didn't think about it, but like, yeah, that's totally fucking American as fuck. Like, like McDonald's, like, just the simple fucking cheeseburger. Even she brings up like you don't have to put seasoning on it, and I'm just like, that's just because it's fucking lazy ass food. Like,
I was like, or she's trying to like low key through a mad shade. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I feel like a quote that I really liked from what she said was independence for who? Like, it's the same thing as, it's not the same thing, but it's similar to what David was saying. Like, the ironic part of it, it's just, it is a confusing holiday where like, you don't really know how to fucking feel. So like you could joke about it. You could just kind of question it in general. Like it's, this isn't a very happy, great place to be right now. Like, there's a lot of fucking hatred going around, and there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that need to happen. There's a lot of things that, it's just like, who's actually free from what we're doing? Like,
right. Yeah,
it's a valid question.
Yeah.
How about you?
I just like, I think it's interesting how like it's an excuse to drink comes up because it's like on quote unquote Independence Days, for example, Cinco de Mayo, which is not Mexican Independence Day. So it's just like we use these days of freedom as let's get super drunk. And it's just like, did we actually do that action? No. And like, why are we commemorating this holiday? And it's like, why don't you just call it Let's Day Drink? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah, because everyone's just, it's like, oh, well, I have the fucking day off, so let me just get fucking trashed.
Exactly.
And like,
it's like Memorial
the day
Day
off, you should take care of yourself. Like, it's like, yeah, I see like being with the people that you love and like spending time with them, but like, I don't know, just drinking and like deteriorating the insides of your body. I mean, like, that's kind of how I look at myself when I'm like, oh, I have a day off next week. Let me get high as fucking dick. And then I go to work the next day and I'm like, I'm dead.
Yeah, honestly, everybody does though.
Like,
yeah. Word. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we're going to share with you our last interview, and this is from our friend Tito.
Awesome sauce. So we are here with Tito, who is enjoying a nice glass of Pinot Noir. What would you say is the most American thing you can think of?
The most American thing I can think of? Well, that's requiring me to think a little bit. I don't know.
Well, what's the first thing that pops in your head when someone says America?
I guess, honestly, it's not going to sound like the most powerful thing I could say, but for some reason I think of the flag. Yeah. But even with the flag, and then I guess immediately after that, I think of our fucking terrible president of the country. So, unfortunately.
Yee. Fuck Trump. So Azeb's next.
Okay, cool. So this episode is about the 4th of July. So we're curious, do you celebrate it?
By celebrate, I mean, I definitely enjoy my day off from work, and I'll go see some fireworks or whatever, because fireworks are cool. But as far as like celebrating it for the reason of like, you know, I don't know. I don't really think of it as like American Independence Day. I definitely celebrate it as more like this is just another excuse for me to get lit, you know?
Yeah, that's real.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what is your reasoning for like why you feel that way?
I mean, tying back into what I just said is like I don't want to say I think of it as an excuse to get lit, but that's just what it was for me growing up. Is like, oh, it's the 4th of July. We go to the lake and we cook fucking hamburgers or some shit. You eat it, right? You listen. And I guess it just definitely had like its twist too, because it wasn't like, if I'm going to the lake, I'm going there with my family, and like I'm celebrating the way my family would celebrate. So that means like we're jamming to all sorts of Spanish music. We're eating Spanish food. Well, not even Spanish food. I guess more Puerto Rican food, right? And it's like, I don't know. That was just what it was. That I guess in that sense, I was just taught that way. Like, you know, oh, it's 4th of July, so be with the family. Maybe I should say that 4th of July, like another excuse to just hang out with your family. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I guess maybe in that respect, that could be something that is looked at as American. Is like, you know, I've lived in America my whole life, right? But if somebody asked me like what my ethnicity was or something, one of my first answers would always be that I'm Puerto Rican. I would never say that I'm American. Am I American? Yeah, I am. I was born here, you know, like, so in that respect, yes. But to be American, I feel like really means, you know, that is what America is. Like, you know, a bunch of people from other places that came here to fucking do what they do here. Like, like definitely like on the 4th of July, we're not here just like looking at the fucking Declaration of Independence and shit like that. Never. We're not like thinking about presidents that died and shit. And like, I don't know. That's definitely what it is. Is like wherever you're from, right? I guess you have like an Ethiopian background, right? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know probably your 4th of July might be a little bit different. Yeah. Maybe the only thing that you have in common is like maybe there might be drinking involved. Maybe there might be fireworks, right? Like, but definitely there's probably family around or something like that. Yeah. That's probably the only similarity. Other than that, it's like nobody's definitely like celebrating it for like the reason of like this is American independence. Like, nah, I definitely don't think of it that way. No. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was awesome. Cool. You got anything?
Nope, I got nothing. Thank you.
And we are back from Tito's interview. So, Azeb, what do you have to say?
Yeah, so like Tito said a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. Yeah. And I don't know why. These are actually like super American things, right? Like the flag, the president. Yep. I have been I've just been like disengaged from the whole government for the past 3 years. Relatable. And like I am sitting here like what's a president? We don't have one. And so I'm just like out here being like, oh wait, you said president? Last time I checked, that was when America died in 2016 and Barack Obama was the last leader. That's like the level of denial that I'm at right now. It's really bad. Yeah, and then like all this shit with like the national anthem and like not, you know, like you know, just fucking kneeling. I've totally erased the flag too. I'm sitting here like, you know what I mean? Like I'm at that level of being like, oh shit, I forgot that was like what America is, you know? Level of denial because of shitty situation. Yeah. But yeah, how about you?
I feel like Well, it's interesting because the first thing I thought of was the flag. So when he said that, then I was just like, okay, cool, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like when he said the flag, like it, you know, like it resonated with me, and like then like talking about the president, and you know, like I said, fuck Trump. I'm very against his entire existence. But I've kind of realized, you know what? He's our fucking president right now. Life sucks, but I'd rather know what's going on and rather just like hear not what he has to say, but like what is happening. Like, you know, it's like what he has said. I don't want to hear his freaking voice because he irritates me. And like, you know, it's just, I might be being sensitive about this, but I don't fucking care. He pisses me off. So I don't like feeling mad. I'd rather just do what I'm fucking doing in life, and then whatever happens around me fucking happens right now because it's activism. I don't want to get shot at this moment. But
I mean, honestly, talking about it though is activism.
Yeah.
The little things that you do, like having conversations with people who voted for him or support him.
Yeah.
Is activism.
I mean, like, I went to fucking Ireland with a friend, or I made a friend who ended up being a Trump supporter, and it's just like, all right, cool. Like, that's just who you are. Like, dad fucking voted for Trump. Like, you know, it's just like, whatever the fuck happens, but, like, that doesn't mean you have to fucking vehemently hate the person. Like, you know, it's like, pick out every conflict that you can fucking make in the world. It's just,
and I think that's the thing that
is, and then, you know, still cohabitate with them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though with like our generation and millennials and this idea of like we all need to just like have the same way of thinking, and it's like, yeah, there's a level of tolerance and there's also like shit that you just can't change, and you just kind of have to let go and pick your battles, you know. I'm not saying like just give up on everyone, or I'm not saying cancel everyone, and I'm not saying I support Trump supporters. I'm just saying like there's a level of tolerance and acceptance that you have to also take with being an activist and with dealing with politics and these decisions, because it's like, you know, that quote that's like, oh, like the 3 things you're not supposed to talk about is like religion, politics, and like sex or whatever, right? So it's like I saw this quote, I think it was by like Nina Simone or something, like, sorry if I'm misquoting, but it was like, everything is politics or something, like my identity is politics, so you telling me not to talk about politics is saying don't talk about me. You know what I mean? There's like a level of understanding or just kind of medium that we have to come to to deal with that shit, because at the end of the day, you have to keep living. You can't just cancel and erase everyone from your life that has the opposite way of thinking than you. But you have to find a way to try to learn from each other. Even if they're super fucking wrong against like your human rights. You know? And I'm seriously saying, like, I'm not saying I support them. And if this does sound like I support them, then like let me know. But like,
no,
I just think there's like some kind of level. There's something you have to come to. Because it doesn't make sense to only be surrounded by people who agree with what you're thinking. You know?
No, I completely agree. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like I've been avoiding a lot of really hard conversations recently.
Oh, absolutely. Because you gotta live.
Yeah, it's like, it's not really worth my energy and time right now. Like, if I had the energy to bring up a bunch of shit. But even, like, Zoe was telling me about how she was talking to her family about like weed and like those laws and stuff, and how they have like different kind of political views about it. And I'm just like, wow, like, you know, like she's really putting herself out there, like advocating for this stuff. Like, you know, I've just been so fucking beaten up by, you know, these conversations that it's like sometimes I really don't want to fucking have them. If I have to, then I'll fucking bring it up. But like, you know, or if someone's just like, you know, if they're curious and I'm in the mood, but like, I'm not going to push myself if it's like, I don't want to fucking talk about this, and, you know, like, I'm just trying to have a good time, like, that kind of thing. It's like, yeah. You
have to, exactly. It's about picking your battles, and it's like, for me, it depends on how much mental and emotional energy do I have to go off on this person right now. Is it a time that I should be giving an emotional response? Who is this person in relation to me? Is this a family member? Do I care about damaging this relationship? Or what kind of impact I want to have after this conversation? So those are like all the things going through my head, but then sometimes I'm just like, nah, fuck all y'all. I'm about to fucking teach you something. And not even teach you something, but just show you I'm a human being and I'm being fucking affected by the horrible shit you're saying right now. You know, regardless of they're your family or your friends or who, like some random person on the train. Like, that's when you decide if you're going to say, yo, can you shut the fuck up about like racism right now? Because I might be just like fucking tired from the whole workday. You know what I mean? Or like, can you just like, you know, like when you're just about to pop off. You know, and it's like, dude, I don't know. People aren't considerate.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know.
It's like everywhere,
It's just-
you know?
Yeah. It's
Fucking exhausting.
Exactly.
Activism is fucking exhausting. Being conscious is fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
You know, just like this self-awareness and then just like this like trying to read the room shit because of like
trying to just like understand everything that like, you know, like what's the best move and so, you know, it's like it's never
it's like you're
always
always on
the
edge.
best
And it's like,
move.
why can't we
like,
just
you know,
fucking
it's
talk?
like there's always the fucking whatever you do is somehow wrong, but you just got to justify it to yourself of like, well, I'm just fucking doing me. Like, you know, it's like that's the only thing I can fucking do right. So, you know, no one can tell you can't be you. Be yourself. Love yourself.
Be great. Okay,
I'm great.
that was a
You're
super long
Tangent?
tangent. That's the
Yes.
word. Wow, I suck.
You're doing great.
But we back.
But yeah, back on Tito's thing. I wanted to
he said
say,
a lot of really good shit, so
Yeah,
that's why
he
like, I
did.
want to like go back there.
Same shit as Jojo as like reason to get lit because it's a day off. You know, it's just I feel like that's a common theme between all of them.
Yep. And drinking and family.
And then
But the family thing.
the family thing, yeah, that got really deep.
Mm-hmm.
Although I liked how he brought up his ethnicity.
Yes.
Because, you know, you and I were talking about that the other day.
Yep.
Or we were talking in a group about it.
Oh,
with
yeah.
them. Yeah, because that's when we interviewed
Hey,
him.
dumbass.
Yeah, I'm a fucking genius, guys. Doing great.
Yes, anywho.
But
yes,
we were talking about the difference between ethnicity, race, and nationality, and you explained it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, like, can you explain it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hope I actually give it justice. Fact check me if I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah.
So, you know, race. Obviously, the color of your fucking skin.
Yep.
Literally, the color of your fucking, the pigment of your skin. Race. So, when you get those boxes, you're like, black, check, white, check. And then everything else. Sorry. I don't even know what it is anymore because, like, I don't even, like, look at those things. So, anyway. Race is that. Ethnicity. I think it's like the culture in which you were like surrounded by or grew up with. So like ethnically, I don't know, like somebody was explaining this as like ethnically if you were like, you know, if you're like us, right? We're Ethiopian, we're American.
Yeah.
But we claim Ethiopian way more than American because like we grew up around Ethiopians, so that's how we culturally identify. You know? And obviously we're American because we were born here, but like, yeah, and we grew up with our American family. So those are our two like ethnicities. I think that's how that works. And so race, ethnicity, and then nationality, right?
Yeah.
Nationality is actually like your citizenship. So it's like not even are you a citizen, but like our nationalities would be citizens of America. So that's like if somebody asks you, what's your nationality? It's like, I'm a citizen of this country. It's not really about like, I'm American, I'm Brazilian, I'm Asian, I mean Vietnamese or Chinese or Japanese, or all the other plethora of Asian identities. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm from Europe. It's like I am a citizen of Germany, right? So yeah, that's the difference, I think.
Well, I hope you're right.
Thanks.
Either way, we fucking tried, guys.
No, wait, I have more.
Okay.
God, so fucking rude. I know. We really tried. But anyways, yeah. I just really think it's important to point out, like, when Tito was talking and he was coming to the realization of, like, what 4th of July was to him, he was like, oh, it's about hanging out with your family. And I was like, yeah, my nigga, because, like, we literally always hang out with our family on 4th of July. We always end up there. And I'm glad to hear that, like, other people say that, like, oh, to see my friends. It's about community, right, for people of color. We didn't interview any, like, white people, so, like, we don't know. Yeah. But, like, I'm sure it's the same thing because once he said, you know, isn't that American, being with your family? And I was like, fuck, you're right. Because if you think of any, like, TV show that you've seen, it's always, like, family at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That nuclear family.
Family Guy, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, American Dad.
Yeah.
I don't even know. There's definitely more. Blackish. Just like naming all the
Every
fucking shows.
Fucking show with a family.
Are we,
like...
Did you say Cosby Show?
No. No.
The Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's it. I mean, he did say, this is the last thing, I promise. I know this is getting long, but
fuck it. He gave a really long.
He just like gave us so much content.
Like,
I mean, everybody did, but like, I love how it's all tying together.
Even he
you
said,
know,
he's like, I have to think,
and they didn't even know though. Like none of them knew that they were all gonna say the same thing. So that's why I think it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
I loved when he said like ethnicity. I would say I'm Puerto Rican. I wouldn't really claim American because I was born here, but like to be an American is not like what is seen nationally, right? Like, and especially the history between being Puerto Rican and American and like all that bullshit.
Yep.
But how he talked about what it means to be American is like to come here from somewhere else. Like everybody, literally fucking everybody is an immigrant, technically. And we're all here to just kind of like fulfill the American dream, which is like survival or like whoever the next person is, like, you know, just like doing the thing that's going to bring you to the next level for your family.
Yep.
Or for yourself. Which is also like, you know, a fucking myth and really only works for like white straight men, and that's pretty much our country.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because I actually just thought about this right now. There was this game that we played in my social work department, like for human behavior, the social environment 2 or whatever. It's like all the social work people in the classes. I don't think it was just social work. I think it was everyone in that class, but it's like, you know, a required course for social workers.
This game.
So it was the one with the coins.
Yeah.
And like you had like everyone got just random coins, but like some coins were worth more than others, and then you had to go around and convince people to like trade shapes with you or whatever. Like the shapes of the coins had to do with something, and like whoever was the best at like trading, you know, like had the most points, and like they were part of the circles, and then there was the triangles were the middle group, and then the squares were the bottom. And then they told us, all right, 2 triangles can move up and 1 square can move up. And then it was just showing how, like, you know, usually everyone just kind of stays in the
like
place that they are, but like every now and then some of them can make it to like the next level.
Right.
And it's just like after that, then they gave us like the choice of like, okay, whoever has the top points in the circles gets extra credit on an exam. So all of you need to decide how the points and like whatever gets to who and all this shit. And the circles decided, all right, fuck it. We're just going to make everything fair. And we're going to just throw away all the points. And then we're going to put one chip that's red and all these other chips that are white. And then whoever gets the red chip gets the extra credit.
That shit's
and the teachers were like, guys, we've never had a group that actually cared about each other.
Did
like,
you guys do it?
No, they didn't do it. There was no fucking extra credit.
No!
Like, yeah, but it was just like, yeah, you guys might actually fucking give a shit about the fucking world because, you know, all the other groups that we've done for years have just said, all right, fuck it. Whoever has the top amount of money in the circles, fuck everyone else. Like, everyone else was just like, I'm going to fend for myself. And it just kind of shows, like, the group of people you're with and, like, the mindsets and, like, how, like,
it really reveals some deep shit about your classmates.
You're like, yeah, my classmates really, like, thought it through. Yeah. I think they were just trying to be smart because they probably were like, well, we're the circles, so there's probably no fucking extra credit. Like, you know, just like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, it was just like, it really showed though, like the people at the fucking top really make the decisions of like how things move.
Yeah,
like
I love that
and you have to
they
get
like did that with y'all. That's like really fucking important, especially for like future social workers in the world and like people who are going to be working with people.
It was like one of the only fucking things in that class that maybe I shouldn't talk shit about UNH, but like no, I gotta say it, Brian. What the fuck, man? You were such a bad teacher, Tyrone. I hope you're listening to this because I just gotta be honest, guys. The fuck, like, but anyways, like.
Are you gonna tag them? Are you gonna tag them and be like at UNH? How do you feel?
I'm not gonna say your last name, but like,
wow.
Yeah, I mouthed it, but like, I'm not gonna say it.
I'm dead. Okay. Yeah. No. Honestly, even at Simmons, we played a game that was similar in my negotiations class. Not about that, but it was more about how to be collaborative. And the teacher didn't tell us like, oh, like you guys will find a way to be the most collaborative, right? And like all the bitches in my class were like, no, we're trying to get the fucking money, bitch. Because it was like we actually got to get the money. It was like $7 fucking. But like, you know, when you're in college and you have no points left for food at the end of the semester, $7 means you can get a fucking meal at fucking Common Grounds.
That's what
which might not be called that anymore, but whatever. So anywho, my group won, and we were all like, oh, so do we just like split up the money? So we all split it up, and we all got like $2 each, and we were like, well, this was fucking whack. And we also felt super uncomfortable taking the money because it was like everybody in the class pitched in for the money, so it was like you were actually taking your like classmates fucking dollars, and we were like, bitch, why are you making this the Hunger Games right now? And then she was like, you guys could have made it collaborative, and we were like, no, we couldn't. You made it fucking impossible for us to communicate with each other. And then some of us got all like head to head, but like whatever.
Damn.
Oh man, great class though, great class. I feel like I can do anything after that, so highly recommend negotiations.
Well, okay,
Which
I don't mean
fault.
to just shit on the whole social work department. It's just Brian.
I'm sorry.
But like, no, everyone else is great.
Different experiences.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Murica.
All right.
4th of Jelly.
So many tangents.
It's fine.
I
feel
really
like
hope
they were
y'all
kinda
enjoy
fucking
these
related.
because they're just coming out. All right.
No.
All right. So because we went off so much and kind of pretty much covered everything we want to talk about and addressed all of the main points, we want to wrap up with just like some closure. So like some key takeaways for me, how like I protect myself on this kind of a day that's like a nationalistic ass day. I just surround myself with my friends and my like family, mostly people of color, and just have real ass conversations about like what we've been doing to do our part in this work and these conversations and like making change. And just like taking this day as a day to really criticize and reflect on what our country's doing. But I mean, you don't have to do that too. Like you can also just actually fucking like live your life and be like, this is my intention for getting lit because being American's fucking hard.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be fucking woo freedom, because like nobody is fucking free.
Yeah.
None of us. But yeah, so I know that sounds like depressing as fuck, but like just trying to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like consider forms of like protection for yourself?
Yeah. Trying to think of what my takeaway is, because I don't know, there's just so much like I said before, there's just so much bad stuff happening in the world right now. But I feel like with this kind of holiday where like you're supposed to be free, you're supposed to be celebrating how you actually have the ability to protest things, how you have the chance to, revolutionize, to change things, to make things better, to make things different. I feel like America kind of had to go down this really shitty path.
Facts,
but we're fucking here.
For real.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger, fed up with this fucking shit.
Yeah, because we like bottle it up so much because we're just like, we
it's
just
like,
need to fucking actually
fuck
live the next day.
this, man.
Yeah.
But I feel like we really needed to get here to see how fucking bad things can get and how it can only get fucking worse if we don't change.
I feel like it is accelerating change very slowly.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like more than what was happening
Yeah.
when we had a black president, low-key.
Yeah.
At least on the ground. There's more
because-
anger and frustration, especially from the group of white people who need to be stepping the fuck up and doing their part as allies.
There's a lot that needs to be fucking fixed, and there's a lot that has been like taken out of the darkness.
But now it's like in your fucking face.
It's really back. Well, not back, but it's really like
no, but it's like you cannot say this is not there because now you have to see it.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, social media's made it a lot easier to see what's going on where it like everywhere instead of just like, only in like whatever the news tabloids want to fucking pick up on. Like people are just showing everything to each other. So I feel like, just kind of protect yourself out there, guys, because this America is really rough.
Black, protect your magic.
I believe in us. I believe that things will get better.
Yeah.
I know that shit always has to get worse before it can get better. So we'll get there.
Hey.
Happy ending.
Thank you, because I didn't have anything left in me to really bring that back. But all right, y'all, we really appreciate you. Please continue to listen to the podcast.
Subscribe.
Let us know what you're thinking.
Donate to Patreon.
Feel free to hit us up at our email, thefreydiseffect@gmail.com. Find us on social media at Instagram at The Freydis Effect. Find us on
Instagram.
Facebook. Find us on Twitter at TFE Pod. Also, please do not forget, if you are loving what you hear, please give us money so that we can continue to do this, because this shit is expensive.
Yeet.
So find us on Patreon,
Yeah.
and just like spread the love, tell your friends. So thank you so much for listening. That was a lot. We really appreciate you. And Simon, you have any announcements or nah?
No. Thank you so much for listening.
Hope you have a great holiday.
Happy days.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.